recap, or are we good?
I think the recap is you guys finished dealing with the Red Brands 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And you sort of explored town, wrapped up a few side businesses, sold a bunch of shit, confirmed locations for a few of the quests you had to do, started a political election and a vote of no confidence in the current town master, discovered a political rival.
Potential rival.
Nah, she sucks. She's gonna be a rival no matter what.
Frida's
and
decided.
the greatest jewel smith in all of Faerun.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Big ups, H-Man.
If he's been lying to us this whole time, that would be so funny. If we just
He
believe
got a
him.
nat.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's possible.
Same thing.
I was more suspicious of Sildar, who we found like tied up by a bunch of goblins, than I am of this guy in a jail cell telling us he's the most famous jeweler in the land. It says a lot about me.
Okay, guys, my name's Adolf. I'm the best jewelsmith in all of Faerun. Oh, you're best.
Oh, well, in that case, get him out of this cage, everybody. We start parading him around the town.
What are we doing?
I guess we'll start with who wakes up first.
I suppose I would wake up first because I want to say goodbye to Duran before we leave town.
Right. You see the first vestiges of light poking through the window. You hear the rustling of someone. You hear the door shut as Duran has already left to go start his farming duties.
The door shuts. I fall off the chair again. Come out of my trance. Immediately look for where Tip is.
He's just like jumping up and down on the chair opposite you.
Tip! Shoulder!
Tip! He just lunges at you, climbs up your arm and lands on your
Accidentally smacks me with his tail.
shoulder. Smacks you in the face.
Oh my god.
I get up, I hold him a little piece of bread, and then I run towards the door.
Alright. Do you open it?
Yeah.
Okay. You just don't.
I just slam into it. Ugh. I slam into it the first time, and then I open it.
Okay, we get boom. Duran's like, what? And then the door opens. Oris, awake already? Typically, you sleep for like 2 or 3 more hours after I get up.
Or should you say trance? And then I wink at him.
Yes, indeed.
I just wanted to say goodbye before me and my crew head for the road, and make sure you, with the way things have gone recently, just make sure you keep a really good eye on what's going down in town. And if I don't know, if something bad happens, send an owl my way, or however people communicate these days.
Yes. Typically, it's some dude on a horse. We probably won't be able to get a message to you. But I will keep my eye on, report anything that may or may not happen while you're gone.
I'll keep my eyes to the skies just in case you do find an owl. But I just thought I should let you know we're headed towards the Neverwinter Woods.
A vast and mysterious place.
Yes, so, and then hopefully towards Thunder Tree. If we're not back in like a week, well, it's probably best if no one comes looking for us, but, you're a good hunter and all that, so maybe. Anyway, goodbye for now.
Good luck on your travels, Oris.
Say goodbye, Tip.
Tip!
I haven't taught him any other words yet, but it's good that he immediately learned his name.
Indeed. Perhaps one day he'll speak something besides his name.
Yeah, hey, while I'm up this early, I haven't had breakfast yet. Any chance I could try one of your apples?
Yes. Follow me. And he sort of leads you back into the orchard, finds a nice, good-looking apple, pulls it down, and hands it to you.
All right, I take a bite.
This is definitely... How... Have you eaten a lot of surface food? Surface fruit, I should say.
No, I definitely bring Underdark rations with me wherever I go. But, I bring bread and stuff too, so it's just...
You've had more of like the dried meats.
Yeah.
And stale bread that you can take with you that stays good for a while.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of the better pieces of surface food you've had.
Well, it's juicy, that's for sure.
Indeed.
And you eat these as well?
I do. I also sell them to buy other things.
Well, it doesn't have the same texture as a mushroom or whatever the fuck we eat in the Underdark, but
no, it does not.
But
it's quite less likely to be poisonous.
Well, there you go. Unless you meet an evil queen.
Indeed.
I've heard that story.
Or you eat like a bunch of the seeds because they contain like arsenic.
Oh, Okay, well, thank you, Duran. I'll see you later.
Yes.
In a
Good
long
luck
time.
and safe travels.
Yes. I start walking away, and as soon as I'm out of eyesight, I just toss the apple onto the ground and walk to the inn.
Alright, you make your way to the inn. It's still pretty early in the morning. So it's just you and the barkeep in the inn for now.
Tobin,
Oris, yes.
we head off for our adventure today.
Seeking adventure and wealth and treasure.
Yes, and to save Gundren and the town in general, doing the task that the town master has failed to do.
Saving us from what exactly?
You know,
As I know, the Red Brand threat has been dealt with.
well,
There hasn't really been much else bothering us. Unless you're dealing with the caravan raids that the town master had posted on his help wanted sign.
yes, exactly that.
That would be mighty helpful if we no longer have to deal with those bandits on the road and are able to buy and sell goods easier.
Yes, I assume that your business has, had some hard times with all this ruckus about.
I mean, it's been more difficult to get some of our spirits, but a lot of the food and stuff we sell here is local. So
Oh,
you and your friends have gone through quite a bit of our stock for alcohol in the past 3 days, but
yeah.
hopefully with you clearing the road, we'll be able to get some more from Cornaberry or Neverwinter.
Ah, well, extra motivation for all of us then.
Or perhaps Leon. Lelon. If that's how you would say that.
I don't believe I've ever been there.
Ah, yes. Well, when you turned on the Tribor Trail to come to Phandelver from Neverwinter, you said, right?
Yes,
I assume because you came with Frito.
yes.
If you had just kept going south, you would have made your way to Lelon.
Oh, so it's close to the coast, I guess.
Yes. Have you heard of the Mayor of Dead Men?
Yes.
It's just a little bit north of that.
Oh, maybe I have been there, but at a time when I was not really paying attention. As you said, I like to partake in the drink sometimes. Anyway, do you have any idea when Sildar and the rest of the guys usually wake up?
It's about 5 a.m. right now. Probably about another 2 hours.
Okay. How much for breakfast, if you make it this early?
I can open the kitchen now for you. Be just about the same as it has been at any other point. 1 silver.
All right, I pay 1 silver.
Thank you. Like 30 minutes later, he comes back with a plate. It's got like 4 sausages, a handful of bacon, some toast, and some scrambled eggs.
Excellent. No apples. And I start eating.
And then he hands you a glass of milk, I guess. It's breakfast.
I let Tip have the sausages.
Yep.
Probably don't see many of these things here, Tobin, eh?
No, I'm not quite sure what that is.
Neither am I.
I've never seen anything like it, but if it's with you, I'm inclined not to try to kill it yet.
I put my hands over Tip's ears. Hopefully, you won't ever want to kill it.
Hopefully, indeed.
Alright, I'll just eat my breakfast until everyone else wakes up.
All right. You spend some time eating, playing with Tip, talking with Tobin about goings on in the town and adventures you've been on and the like.
Yeah, I'll focus on... I end up asking him a lot of questions about Halia at the Miners Exchange. Just like what he knows about her and stuff like that.
She's quite intelligent and good at getting what she wants, from what I've seen. She's also, besides the town master, currently the closest thing we have to a governing authority.
So would you say that she's someone worth getting on the good side of?
It's always better in Phandelver to be on her good side, but with the power, the 4 of you are able to control and use. You probably stand the best chance out of anyone of surviving being on her bad side.
Is she just like a basic businesswoman, or does she have connections in places?
As far as I know, she just runs our miners exchange, buying and selling ore and gems that the local prospectors bring into her.
Is the miners' exchange open now, would you think?
Probably not.
Okay. Well,
Still quite early.
yes, true. Oh, she's very intriguing. I have to say, I didn't get a great impression from speaking to her, but I definitely...
Did you go with Frito?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, before, I was quite a while ago, Frito was a troublemaker and ruffian.
Really?
I like to... He was part of the more unsavory aspect of the town and made quite a few burglaries at the miners' exchange. So they're not on the best of terms, so that probably soured your introduction.
How long have you known Frito?
He's lived here his whole life, so his whole life.
And around when would you say he started to, go a different direction from the life of a burglar?
How old are you now, Nick?
27? 29.
No. I think it was probably about 15 years ago.
Well, that's good. I'm just curious, this lady, Halia, she asked us very specific questions about a certain topic, and I couldn't tell if she wanted to know more about it purely, or if she knew something she wasn't letting on. Is she that type of person? Would she hide information like that from people like us?
From Frito? Definitely.
Perhaps it's worth talking to her by myself at some point. Anyway, thank you, Tobin.
Yes, of course.
All right, I wait.
Well, let's see. Fredo would definitely, because he's finally taken on the role of a spellcaster since that last level up. He's going to be getting up in the morning and experimenting with some of his spells, namely Minor Illusion, which... Minor Illusion, you create a sound or an image of an object within range that lasts for the duration, a minute, and the illusion also ends if you dismiss it as an action or cast the spell again. So I'll just kind of be plotting different strategies and stuff like that to be using with Minor Illusion.
All right, so you wake up. I assume you stay in your room to do this?
Yes. I'll just be by myself, making weird sounds in my room, as usual.
So you're just sitting in your room by yourself. Ortis, probably at about 7, you see Gerald come out of his room and come sit next to you.
Look what the cat dragged in.
Indeed.
Big day today, Gerald. I hope your blade is ready.
Always. You said you... Never mind. I couldn't remember for a moment who spoke to you about using Talon. I believe it was Andrew, correct?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, though, any idea what you're gonna do with those spell scrolls you picked up?
I believe we sold them last time, didn't we?
Those were I don't believe we sold them. I think we just sold the materials he had.
I thought he said he didn't care if we sold them.
He did say that, but I don't think we ended up selling them. Because one of them's Fireball, and I feel like we should hold on to that.
One's Fireball, one's what?
Hold Person.
Would you like them? Probably
Well,
won't end up using them.
Yeah, I feel as though they maybe come in handy when dealing with the spider and all this nonsense.
So, get the second level spell scroll. I think that was Hold Person, and the third level was Fireball.
Yeah.
If you just want to, I don't know how you can determine what spell it is, but just make note of that. It sounds like you already have.
Yeah. The second and third level?
Yep.
I'll write it in the notes or something.
You guys sort of...
And I was gonna offer him Talon in exchange, but since Jacob's not here, I'll hold on to it.
Yeah, I think Frito might be a better person to use it.
Yeah.
Not Frito, Robert.
The other guy.
Big Bobby!
Big Bob.
Frito is proficient in it, but he's got his Rapier of Warning, so that's probably a better thing for him to use.
Yeah, I'm not giving that shit up easily.
But then you got... Oh, Andrew, because you took a long rest, you can attune to the Staff of Defense.
Staff of Defense, activate!
Alright, well, I give Gerald some of my breakfast, the stuff that Tip hasn't eaten, and I guess we sit and wait at the bar for everyone to come down.
You guys sort of sit there, talk. This is the most talkative you've heard Gerald be in a while.
Yes, you've been very quiet recently, Gerald.
Just studying and observing your new allies.
Yes. Well, keep an eye on them. According to Tobin over here, Frito used to be a bit of a ruffian. Can you believe
yes,
it?
but I can.
I never thought a man with such a glorious mustache could have grown up in such a rough way. It's a beautiful mustache.
It is a very majestic mustache.
There must be some sort of spell that I can, copy that mustache and put it on myself one day.
Disguise self.
Ah, brilliant idea. You're smarter than your armor.
You guys make that small talk. Eventually at like 8, unless Frito wants to come out of his room, we get Robert waking up, snorting his, or inject. I don't know how you do your drugs. I assume you
Every
snort
way
them.
possible.
I change depending on how I'm feeling.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm definitely snorting it.
You get your 3 grams of psilocybin and just. What else do you do when you wake up in the morning?
Argue with the apparition of my mother.
All right.
Bitch.
What are you arguing about? So I can, if you want to role play this a little bit.
Okay. She told me I was adopted this morning, which was new.
Oh, you're adopted, Robert. You're never mine.
What?
No son of
Who's
mine
am I?
would be a drug addict.
Mom, you were a drug addict.
No, I wasn't. What are you talking about? Don't question your mother. She tries to smack you across the face.
But you're not my mother. You just said
Just because you're adopted.
She's on
doesn't mean I'm
drugs!
not your mother.
you were never there for me.
Because
Who
I
are
died
you?
when you were like 0.
Odd. Did you pre-adopt me then?
I might be confusing you. Right?
She's both mothers combined. She's.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she died in childbirth. Yeah. You're right.
I said, don't question your mother. She goes to smack you again.
Robert somehow feels the second smack and flies across the room. No, my mouth.
And you see your drugs sort of spill on the floor, and you see the ghost bend down and
Hey, that's mine. I dive, try to tackle her.
you're trying to tackle this ghost. Just give me an Arcana check.
We're just hearing loud thuds upstairs.
There's no upstairs. This is sort of like a back room
Oh,
hallway.
okay.
Uh,
The fuck is going on in there?
Again.
What did you get, Andrew?
Is a 13.
13. Okay. As you go to tackle this apparition of your mother, you just sail right through it, and you smash into the opposite wall. Give me a perception check.
This wall isn't real either. 10.
And your mother is still there on the ground snorting Sithersill.
No. They're crawling
You got-
closer.
You know what's yours is mine, little boy. And as she's like saying this and snorting, her face gets more and more like demonic and twisted. Parts of her flesh start falling off.
Oh my
Skull
god.
starts coming through,
Oh shit, maybe you can have it. You know, don't touch me, Chris.
and then she lunges at you,
Ah!
and then vanishes. And looking around, you go to try to snort what was left on the ground.
Yep.
Gone.
No! How could you? I'm like angrily hitting my bed.
Just you hit your bed a few times. What do you do as? Do you come out of your room? Do you just like sit there for a little bit crying?
Yeah, I'm sobbing in a very profuse sweat for a while, and then the snorted crack sets in, and then I walk out of my room feeling very happy.
All right. Oris and Gerald see Robert walk out, a little dazzled, some bruises on like his face and his fists, but looking happy.
Everything all right there, bud?
Everything is just wonderful.
My
Yeah.
my head slowly turns towards Tobin.
You say anything to him?
I just give him a look like you're probably gonna want to check on that room at some point. And
You see Tobin's face. It's a little like one eyebrow's raised. He's like looking at Robert questioningly, but then he's like, "Meh, he paid me good." It just goes back to doing his job.
I turn slowly back towards Robert with a big smile on my face. Today's the day.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna get fucking crazy out there.
Oh,
What?
Yeah. What?
What did you say?
I said crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the, what is he, this knife guy? the politician?
The knife guy?
You know, Frito, sorry. Ugh.
Oh. Hello. No, I have not.
Brig, what was I just trying to say? Big Frito on their ass. I almost said Big Cheeto on their ass.
Either or, right?
Yeah. Well, probably a few things we want to get to before we officially head out. Before they log Mithril Star off to Neverwinter, we should probably pitch him that idea about making magic items. So maybe you guys can go do that. I got something I need to go say to my friend Ron before we head out.
Ronald
Huh?
Weasley.
Is that what Frito says as he walks out of his room after practicing magic?
He's Ronald fucking Weasley.
I knew it.
You've been practicing for about an hour at this point? Hour and a half, maybe?
I've been cooking. I'm ready for some grub.
All right. So you walk out and join everyone else in the main hall. If you want to order food from Torben, it's a silver, and you'll get the same thing that Oris got earlier.
What time is it?
8:30.
It's early enough to start drinking. I'll have a beer and I'll have a beer and some food.
Guess I'm driving the horse then. Driving?
I'm
I'm having a beer. I don't have a problem.
Okay. I can stop anytime.
10 copper and 1 silver for the food and the beer.
Meanwhile, character playing Fredo cracks open a beer.
Haha.
Or was it 5 copper for a drink? It's got to be 5 copper. That makes more sense because 1 silver and 10 copper are the same value.
Fredo is so drunk still and hungover that he doesn't realize he's paying twice as much as he did last night.
Fair.
Had fun, eh?
Oh yeah. Well, we all have our temptations, and
Of course.
this is definitely one of mine.
Yes, I
You
did
guys
plenty
have
of
just-
drinking yesterday.
You guys have drunken so much of his stock, he now has to charge more for the beer.
Yeah.
Beer
Well,
inflation.
speaking of Tobin running out of his stock, we should try to get out on the road as quick as possible. But first, I was just saying to Robert and Gerald that we should, run our magic items idea past Mithril Star. And you get to meet him. I mean, you already met him before, but you get to meet him as Mithril Star. That's pretty cool.
I get to meet the Mithril Star. Holy shit.
Exactly. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go say something to my friend Ron, if that's all right, before we head out. Also, is Sildar here?
You see, he has not woken up yet.
Tobin, would you have any problem with me knocking on Sildar's door?
No, you can do what you want.
Alright, I get up. I start walking towards Sildar's door.
You make it to his door.
I put my ear up against it.
Perception check.
Alright. 7?
Don't hear anything.
Holy shit, he's dead. Alright, I knock on the door.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who is
he's
it?
not dead. Sildar?
Oris.
Are you decent?
Just give me a moment. Like a minute later, you see the door open and there's Sildar.
Hello, friend.
Hello, Oris.
Today's the day we head off on our journey.
Finally out to rescue Gundren.
Rescue Gundren, save the town from the, I whisper, goblins. And, all the good stuff.
Yes, indeed. I wish you luck on your travels.
Are you okay?
Yes. With Glassstaff taken care of and the Red Brands no longer terrorizing the town, I'm finally able to rest easy. So I was just sleeping in a little bit.
Oh, well, go ahead and go back to bed. You did mention at some point that you wanted to... Are you staying in town, or are you heading back to Neverwinter to the Lord's Alliance?
I've sent my letter last night with what they detail. If they send a reply back summoning me, I will head back to Neverwinter. But with you leaving and this stuff with the spider and Gundren's disappearance, I feel it's best if I stay here until the matter is resolved.
Okay, well that puts my anxiety at rest for now, knowing that you'll be in town while we're away, unless summoned.
Yes.
Well, don't let me keep you from your beauty sleep any longer. Return to the realm of the slept.
Oh, no. Once I wake up, it's hard for me to go back to sleep, so.
Ah, drats. Well, why don't you come out and have a drink with old Frito, eh?
Unlike Frito, I try not to drink until evening.
A humbug. All right, well,
Hey, I have important, not important, but I just like to keep my mind clear in case anything unexpected happens.
fair enough.
Once again, have a safe journey, Cloak.
Ah, I wink at him. I flash my badge that's now attached to the inside of my cloak.
He flashes his back.
Hell yeah. All right, I walk up to the bar, put a silver down. What does that get me? Drink-wise.
He gives you a beer.
I take it. All right, you guys can head to the old town hall, say hi to Mithril Star for me, and also let the town master know that we're off to deal with his fucking problems. And I'll get back to you guys in about 20 minutes. I start walking towards the door.
And you're going back to Duran.
That's what I say I'm doing.
Okay. Frito and Robert, you immediately head out?
What do you think, Big Bobby?
Yes, sir.
The thing too is, could I stop before we leave town after we talk to the squad that we're heading to now? If I meet up with my squad to see if they can get dirt on the Union leader?
Sure. All right. Let's do your guys' thing first. You, Gerald, and Robert make your way out. Quite the intimidating party. You got the fancifully dressed. Are you fancifully dressed? How does Robert dress typically when he's not disguising himself as Glassstaff?
Yeah, Robert does try to He tries to make himself seem more important than he is in terms of musicianness, so he dresses as fancily as possible.
So you're wearing Arano's
Drances
clothes.
as crantily as possible.
Yeah.
Dressed up in Arano's old clothes. We got Robert. We got the intimidating adamantine wearing Gerald. And we got Frito and his... Are you hood and cloaked rogue? Or are you more like... You have the cloak, but the hood's down right now? Dark
Yeah,
armor?
Yep. I'm
Perfect.
not wearing the hood during daytime to not look ominous as hell.
We got this intimidating looking party heading out of Stonehill Inn towards the Townmaster's Hall. Give me a perception. All three of you. I guess I should joke.
14.
11.
All right. Dylan, give me a stealth roll.
Okay. Should be fine.
Hey, there he is. Get him.
What can go wrong here?
7.
Who beat a 7? Andrew, Nick, did you guys got more than a 7 on your perception, right?
Yeah, I got 11.
I got 14.
And Dylan, I assume you're heading to the place you mentioned going by yourself to.
Yeah, the miners' exchange.
So you guys walk out of the Stonehill, not expecting to see across the town green market area from you by like the woodworkers and the Lion Shield Coisters, Oris, walking towards the miners' exchange when he said he was going to Durant.
Fucking liar. Good man.
If you don't want to react to that information, you make your way to the Townmaster's Hall. Robert, I believe you were here when Mithril Star was revealed.
I was.
So you once again see, you open the door and walk in, and you once again see Finn.
I wave at him.
He nods back. Robert, Gerald, I believe. I was Gerald there when you? No, he wasn't, was he?
I don't think so.
Robert and your other companions, who I don't believe I've met yet, back to talk to the Red Brand.
And of course, the most well-known, least known Red Brand of all time.
Indeed. Who did you guys tell anyone that he was Adolf Starr?
I think
Alpha
literally
Noma's-
just Finn.
Just Finn. Okay.
Yeah, and obviously our party members.
Quite a surprise that we had Mithril Star in our little holding cell.
Yes, it was. We have an arrangement that once we leave and come back may be advantageous for you, depending on how your trial runs.
I don't have a trial, Finn says questioningly as you stand in front of him talking to him.
Never mind. You're going to be executed. When your execution's over,
What are you talking about, Robert?
sorry, my mother's sitting in the chair next to you.
Okay, he looks at you a little concerned. Like, feel free to go talk to a star if you want to. And he sort of
I haven't
backs
seen you in
away,
ages, Mom.
How
How are you?
and like looks at Frito and Gerald like,
I'm going
What's
to
going
kill
on?
you.
He's Coca for Cocoa Puff. Sorry about that.
ah, indeed. Well, make sure he doesn't do anything reckless, or we'll have to lock him up in the cell next to Mithril Star.
Yes, I've been hearing about this Mithril Star. I want to see him for myself.
Yes, he's just down that hallway. You know where the cells are, Frito.
Yes, I'm a bit more familiar with this place than most.
Yes, he's in the first one.
I'm gonna walk up and
Gerald follows. Are you still hallucinating, Robert?
Robert's currently looking at a wall, playing his war gun.
Okay. Performance? Disadvantage.
Seduce the wall. All right. We got a 7.
All right. It sounds pretty bad. You're all also high out on your mind. So, Robert's having his impromptu performance. Frito, Gerald, you guys approach the cell in which you see a man wearing the red brand outfit sitting on the bench.
I would say that Fredo knows who. Fuck, I forgot his name already. God damn it, sorry. I almost said Zorkral Prime. That's the wrong session.
Wrong name!
That's him.
Can I do a perception check before I even talk to this guy to see if I know if it is the real Adolf?
What's your basis for knowing whether or not it's the real one?
I just, I think when we did a history roll last time, I rolled decently on that.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception. Actually, give me a investigation.
Perfect. That'll be a 26.
26. No one, as far as you know, has ever actually seen Mithril Star. Mostly because most auctions are done, of his goods are done silently, and then mail drop and stuff. These are all very on the up and up as far as the underworld goes, because Glassstaff, you assume now Glassstaff, as the distributor of said artwork, was trying to keep Mithril Star's location and any potential patrons away from him to keep him within Glassstaff's sphere of influence. But if all of that matches, like all of that secrecy and stuff matches up, it would make perfect sense that Mithril Star was a random bandit in the middle of nowhere, and that's why no one knows who he is.
Okay. So you are the mighty Mithril Star that has all my homies talking a buzz.
You must have been the friends with the drow and the crazed lunatic playing the war gong.
Yes, he's over in the corner. I'm not sure how operational he's going to be for this conversation, but
Fair.
I didn't really believe it that someone we had encountered would be the great Mithril Star, especially them ending up in a jail cell as a member of the Red Brand.
Hey, well, when you steal the materials to make your artwork, even if it's great art, you're still committing a crime.
Indeed. There are sacrifices that we must make to survive and prosper in our respective fields.
Indeed.
But what do you plan on doing after you get out of this cell? Do you think that your name alone will atone for the crimes you have committed?
I don't know about you, but those high and fancy nobles in Neverwinter, once they realize who I am, most likely will set me free in the name of art and wanting me to craft them something.
So you are a complicit user of this heinous system that we have set up in this world. That you'll just get bailed out by the rich due to your prosperity in a certain field.
If you don't use it, you're going to get abused by it.
Okay, you don't need to get all philosophical with me. One of us is in a jail cell, the other isn't. So, I don't need
more
life
than
advice
fair.
from the guy that's in prison.
Fair enough. But,
I do wonder though. You have an immense talent in your field. Do you have any interest perhaps in making a deal?
as I told your Wargong friend, I'd be willing to work for him if he bought me the smithy in town. Finally have a place where I can do my own work without, physically threatening someone to let me use it.
How much is the smithy that you look to purchase?
I don't know. I've never bothered asking.
If you had a rough estimate for property value of a certain field in this town, what would you say? Perhaps we can buy it out with the escapades we get from our adventures, and while we also fund you, you also stay out of trouble and don't join gangs that suppress the will of the people, as you have done now.
Hey, only reason I joined Glassstaff was because, well, he was the only one who supported my art. If you're more than willing to and don't need me to commit banditry, I'm fine with that.
Let me put it to you this way. I'm running to be the leader of this town in 6 months.
You want to be
Perhaps-
town master?
Yes. Well, I want to be town master. That's a far cry from being town master. But say I were to get into that position, I could probably strike you a pretty good deal and finesse some certain things here and there for you. But you cannot stray from the hand that feeds. That's the whole thing you were just saying about preying on the extreme desire for all fine goods that the folks in Neverwinter see in you that will set you free, allegedly. Perhaps you could get that here, where you already are. Just something to keep in mind.
I mean, if you're able to set me up with a shop and I can work my craft without resorting to banditry, I can give it a try. But if me not using stolen goods makes my art worse, might have to start stealing stuff again. Just saying.
Let me put it to you this way. If things work out in the favor that I think, and I become the new town master, you won't have that as an issue. I think
You'll
this
steal the goods
town-
for me.
Well, I wouldn't say steal. I'd say we'll have the resources at that point to fund your operation quite legally. The thing I say, though, is...
Andrew, give me a con saving throw.
6.
All right, you're still tripping balls. All right, Nick,
Yes.
keep going.
I think what embodies Phandelver is the ability to get second chances. I am perhaps the epitome of that, in that for the mistakes you have made in your past, you can still reform yourself. And there's plenty of opportunities and resources and talent that you have, Mithril Star, to reform, to be a better person than you were yesterday. And I think that with the resources that will soon be at our disposal, both as town master and perhaps in what we find along the way, I can fund your passion. But there's the major stipulation of straying from the path. I believe in second chances. I don't believe in third chances. So if you do anything that would cross me or any of my allies, there would be consequences. That is all I shall say on that front.
So if I steal from someone who's not under your protection, that's fine?
Well, do what you will in the meantime. But if I come back to town and I see you in this cell, not for the same reason, but a different one, after being released, my sympathy for you will have lessened to a major degree.
Well, I mean, I'll probably be here for about 2 weeks before I'm carted off to Neverwinter for the trial. So if you want me free before I get to Neverwinter, you got 2 weeks. Otherwise, I'll be in Neverwinter.
Well, I will keep that in mind. I'm sure we'll probably pass through Neverwinter at some point. So if we do, I will reach out and see if you have been set free or if you are still, finishing your trial. And we can talk a bit more from there.
All right. We'll see how both our lives go.
Yes.
All right. Oris, you approach the miners' exchange.
Hell yeah. Thinking that I got away scot-free and nobody noticed me.
All right. You approach the building. It appears to be open.
Alright, I walk inside. Whistling to myself.
Ah, it's one of Frito's little cronies.
Yep, crony. That's a nice way to say hi. You wanted information about Elbrick, yes?
And who's this Albrick?
Irano Elbrick, sorry, Glassstaff.
Yes, I was eventually gonna offer someone money in exchange for information from him, but you and Frito dealt with him before I could ask anyone.
Do you still want information on him, or is that over with?
I mean, do you have correspondence that he left in his base that might be of value?
I pull out the notes, obviously covering any sort of information that she could see, but I just show that I have the papers from his desk.
And how do I know those aren't just random letters?
I show the seal, the spider seal.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah, now, I don't know what you know. Quite frankly, it intrigues me to no end what you might know about all of this, and I'm sorry if we got off on the wrong foot. I didn't know that you and Frito had such history. If I had known that, perhaps I would have come in by myself the first time. But I don't want money from you, Halia. I want information. I want to know what you know about the spider.
Well, at this juncture, you probably know more than I do.
Can I insight her?
Yes, go ahead.
Natural one.
Yeah. You know more than she does.
But you know people who want to know about the spider. That's why you wanted the information in the first place. So who are those people?
Me. Mainly.
Why do you want to know?
Why? His activities in the region disturb my business.
So it's in your best interest for him to disappear. Or they, whatever they are.
Indeed. See her make like a note. He.
I'm just curious. You've seen what we're capable of dealing with the Red Brand. Why not offer us some sort of reward in order to deal with the spider?
And what such reward would you be looking for?
How do I put this in a way that doesn't seem like I'm backstabbing anyone? Look, I think what's best for this town is Frito being town master. I think he is in the perfect position in his life to make some real good in this town. However, having talked with you, I don't think it's the end of the world like he does if you win. But if that does happen, I want some assurances that things aren't just going to go crazy, even worse or, at the same level as they have been with Harbin.
Well,
You refused to share with me what your plan was because I guess I'm opposition, but I'm not running for anything. I have no say in his political party. I am simply someone who travels with him and, has gained some sort of friendship with Frito. I just want to know what your plan is.
my plan's the same as any businesswoman. Growing her business.
But the town's not a business.
But it can be useful for mine.
How?
Same way any town is. Place to sell goods. Place to attract people to buy goods.
So what, you'll turn Phandelver into an advertising business for the Miners' Exchange?
Not an advertisement. More of a prosperous market town.
I see. You realize that just becoming leader of Phandelver is not going to do that on its own. You need something else. You need another chip. I assume that's why you want information on the spider. You know what they're after, right?
I assume the same thing Gundren is.
Yes. I'm surprised that that's not the number one thing on your mind. Hiring someone to go deal with that. Find that cave.
Why would I bother hiring someone when you and your friends are already doing it for free?
Yes, but what happens when we find it, Halia?
Prosperity comes to the town. That's all I'm looking for.
Okay, then we may actually have the ability to make a deal here. If all you want is better business in Phandelver, don't run for Townmaster.
Oh, it'd be lovely if I couldn't, but I don't believe Frito can do a good job.
Well then, call it a gamble, an investment, so to speak. We find Wave Echo Cave, we stop the spider, we bring the energy that Phandelver has required for many years back with the Forge of Spells. You get what you want, people coming back to the town, business, much business for the Miners' Exchange if we reopen that forge. We've got some talk with a couple people in town about what they might want to do if, something like that happened. We could all work together in this, but I'm going to be less willing to work with you unless you're willing to work with Frito. He's not the same person he was when he was stealing from you a few years ago.
People are entitled to change,
Exactly.
but the people of Phandelver are also entitled to having an election where there isn't just one unopposed candidate.
So let's pick someone else who's definitely going to lose.
I would prefer to take my chances with whether or not I win. If I lose, I lose. I'll
put it to you this way, Halia. If you run for town master, you will fail. You will lose, and everything that you have here, all this stuff that you've built up, will crumble away into nothing. Because you know for a fact that if we come back with the location of Wave Echo Cave, it's either going to be Frito or Gundren running this place. It's not going to be you.
Perhaps.
I'm just saying, get out ahead of this before it ends up smacking you back in the face like the shit you threw towards the wind. Perhaps just think about it.
Perhaps as a start to our relationship, I take the information you found, and I give you what little information I have gathered on the spider. Perhaps it's something you don't know, perhaps it's something you do. And if the next time you come back, if you've made any progress, and I get a sense of how the population is swinging in the vote, perhaps we'll see what happens.
I think that's fair. I also think lots of information for a tiny bit of information could be balanced out with a little bit of gold. Persuasion?
Okay, sure.
Oh my god, I'm rolling like garbage and I ate.
Let's see how my information, how valuable my information is to you first.
Okay, I think that's fair. All right, I pull the notes back out, the ones about him, calling out to people delivering more supplies, and this one the spider sent him, and I place them on her, her desk or whatever.
She picks them up, takes a look just to confirm you're not scamming her or anything. She looks at the letter, she nods. And this is actually something I'm going to do that's a little bit unprecedented. If I could have Andrew and Nick deafen themselves,
Oh shit.
I'll type in chat when you guys can come back.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright. What I've been able to find out is that the spider, much like yourself, is a drow.
Well, that is quite the information. How did you find this out?
Much like yourself, I have my own contacts, and that is what little they were able to gather.
And you don't know how they got this information.
It's always best when one doesn't question people's methods sometimes.
And these people you trust, though?
I do.
Okay. Well, I did have a theory that might be the case, but I didn't want to believe it, obviously. Can I run something by you, the thing that built up this theory in my head?
Sure.
So, we've been gathering lots of information about all this stuff going on, and one thing that I've had from the beginning now, and I can't place anything, I've gathered no more real information about what it means or who it is. You've heard about these special goblins, yes?
No.
Okay, well, there are weird goblins that scare other goblins. That's all you really need to know.
It's never a good sign.
No. And they've said a word or a name, Ruxathid. Can I insight her face, what she looks like immediately after I say that?
Sure.
I'm just trying to get the sense if she's heard that before. I can't have 7.
Looks like she does not have any recognition of said name.
Okay. If you haven't heard it, based off of your face, I assume you haven't.
I have not.
Keep your ears out. By the time we come back, if I haven't run into this Ruxathid, maybe you'll have some information to share with me as well.
Perhaps.
All right. Do you want to keep those letters, or?
Just give me a moment. I'll make a copy.
Okay.
20 minutes later, she comes back, hands you back the letters.
All right, Halia. Think on what I've said, and hopefully we're not at each other's necks in a few weeks.
Hopefully.
All right, I leave, and Tip waves her goodbye as I walk out, facing the other direction.
So, how was that reveal for you, Dylan?
You know what? That's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, I head towards the town hall, I guess.
I wanted you to be able to share that as you wanted,
Yeah,
rather than people knowing but their character's not.
yeah, interesting.